I could still feel my heart beating faster than usual as I stood in that long airport queue. My little black handbag was pressed tightly against me because inside it was the most important thing I had for this journey, my passport. I kept whispering to myself, Sandra, don't lose this passport, you're going to Dubai. You're finally going to see Joe, after months apart. Don't make any mistake. My mind was already painting pictures of Joe's smiling face, waiting for me at the Dubai airport. Maybe with flowers. Maybe with that mischievous grin he always wears when he knows I've missed him too much. I was so full of excitement that I didn't even notice the way the crew member stretched out his hand with a quick smile. Collecting passports like a shopkeeper collecting coins. I gave mine with relief, thinking, okay, Sandra, one less thing to worry about. But then, just minutes later, when the line shuffled forward and the passports were being returned, I noticed something was off. The cover looked the same. Yes, but the name inside, oh no. Oh no, 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 that wasn't my name. That wasn't my picture. My chest went cold. My palms sticky. I checked again like maybe my eyes were tricking me. They weren't. My passport was gone. Replaced with someone else's. My breath caught, and I whispered under my breath, this can't be happening, not today. Not to me. I tried to stay calm, but my lips were trembling. I looked at the crew member, my eyes wide. And before I knew it, my voice rose up in panic. My words tumbled out, sharp and loud. This isn't mine, where's my passport? Where is it? Heads turned in the queue. People started staring, and I felt my cheeks burn with both fear and embarrassment. I could feel laughter bubbling from some of them, while others gave me those pitying looks, the kind that says, poor woman, she's about to lose her mind. And right then, standing in that buzzing airport hall, I thought to myself, Sandra, your journey hasn't even started yet, and already you're fighting for your identity. Oh, before I go further, my dear viewers, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel Voices of Auntie Joy, so you don't miss the rest of this drama-filled journey. The crew member blinked at me like a confused robot, holding a stack of passports in his hand as if they were playing cards. I could feel my patience snapping like a thin rubber band. Madam, calm down, maybe it's here. He mumbled, flipping through as though he were searching for a missing dollar note instead of my identity. I leaned forward, my eyes darting at every page he turned, praying to see my own tired but hopeful face staring back. Nothing. Instead, the worst thing happened. The man behind me in the queue stepped up, smiled proudly, and waved a passport that looked far too familiar. Excuse me, I snapped, my voice sharper than I intended. That's mine, let me see that. The man frowned, clutching it to his chest like I was trying to rob him. The passengers around us began whispering, some even chuckling, and I could feel the heat rising to my forehead. I whispered to myself, Sandra, don't start a fight in Heathrow. Don't let them write in tomorrow's newspaper that you wrestled a stranger for a passport. But honestly, my hands were itching to snatch it. The crew member tried to intervene. Madam, maybe it's just a mistake, he said, and I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. A mistake, I shouted in my head. If this man boards a plane with my passport, then who am I, a stranded ghost in London? My voice cracked as I said out loud, I'm supposed to meet my husband in Dubai. Do you know what you've done? By now, the crowd was growing restless, some shaking their heads, some laughing quietly, and I suddenly felt like the main actress in a tragic comedy that I didn't audition for. And right there, in that mix of frustration and fear, I realized this wasn't just a mix-up. This was about to become a scene nobody in that hall would forget. By the time my voice echoed across the hall, it was too late to pretend I was calm. Everyone was watching me now, businessmen with their neat suits, mothers clutching children, even a group of teenagers who were clearly enjoying the free drama. My throat felt tight, but my mouth kept moving. This is not a joke, I shouted, waving the stranger's passport like it was evidence in a courtroom. That is not me. Does this look like me? I opened it and pointed at the picture, which showed a man with a bald head and a crooked smile. The laughter that exploded around me nearly crushed my pride. I whispered angrily to myself, Sandra, you're finished, finished. You've turned into the clown of Heathrow. The crew member was sweating now, flipping through the remaining passports, like a man looking for treasure at the bottom of the ocean. I leaned over the counter, almost crawling on it, trying to see. My voice grew louder, shriller, unstoppable. Find it. My passport, right now. I didn't care anymore if I looked mad. At that moment, fear and fury mixed in my chest, and all I could think about was Joe standing in Dubai, waiting, while I was stuck here yelling like a crazy woman. My yelling bounced off the walls, and the passengers around me couldn't decide if they should pity me or enjoy the show. Some were whispering, others recording with their phones. I knew tomorrow I might be trending online. Woman loses passport. Loses mind. I swallowed hard, my hands trembling, and whispered again to myself, Sandra, if this ends badly, you're going to need a miracle or a lawyer. The search was turning into a full-blown circus. One crew member dashed behind the counter. Another whispered into a walkie-talkie. And the man still clutching that passport gave me side-eyes like I was plotting a heist. My chest felt tight, my heartbeat thundering in my ears. And I kept muttering under my breath, Sandra, breathe, just breathe. Oh, who am I fooling? There's no air left in this airport. Every second dragged like an hour. The crew kept saying, please, madam, we are checking. But all I could hear was the ticking clock in my head. The flight to Dubai would not wait for Sandra's lost identity. I clutched the counter, my knuckles white, ready to collapse. Then, as if the universe decided to mock me, a small burst of laughter came from somewhere behind. I turned sharply. A group of young men were holding their phones high, recording me. One even said, go on. Auntie, you're trending tonight. That did it. I wanted to scream and cry at the same time. I whispered through clenched teeth, Sandra, you've gone viral before even reaching Dubai. Congratulations. But underneath the embarrassment was a growing fear. What if my passport was truly gone? What if someone else was about to board with my name? My face, my life. I could feel sweat trickling down my neck, while my stomach twisted itself into knots. And still, the hall was buzzing with both tension and laughter. It was suspense, comedy, and tragedy all rolled into one. And I was the unwilling star of it all. Just when I thought my life was over, and I'd be sleeping on an airport bench, a voice called out, excuse me, is this yours? My head spun so fast I nearly broke my neck. A young woman stepped forward from the back of the line, holding my passport like a prize. My eyes went wide, my knees nearly gave way. Sandra, that's it, that's you. Salvation has come, I whispered to myself. I snatched it from her hands, opened it, and there it was, my tired but smiling face. My name, my identity. Relief washed over me so strongly I almost hugged the stranger. Then remembered, she was the one who had been holding my future hostage. How did you even? I began, but she shrugged. Embarrassed, they handed it to me by mistake. By mistake, just like that, all this drama, all this yelling, all this humiliation, because someone couldn't read a name properly. The passengers burst into laughter again, some clapping, some shaking their heads. I didn't know whether to laugh with them or cry in shame. I held the passport tight to my chest, whispering, Sandra, never, ever let this out of your sight again, even if the Queen herself asks for it. As I walked toward the gate, cheeks still hot with embarrassment, I thought of Joe waiting in Dubai. One day I would laugh about this, but not today. Today, I just wanted to hide my face in his chest and forget I had nearly lost myself in Heathrow. My dear viewers, if you've been laughing, crying, or holding your breath with me through this story, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel Voices of Auntie Joy. Because trust me, more drama is always waiting around the corner.